Hello and welcome to the Nature Garden podcast with me, Carl Steinson, and the Weekending Show team from Lionheart Radio. Thanks for joining us on a canny wee wander down the garden path and country lane with the birds and the bees and the Christmas flowers and trees. In this episode, we thought a little homespun guide to some of the gifts our contributors are thinking about this year might help to make things merry and bright. So, here are the chaps, the two Toms and Steve Lowe, with some wonderful ideas that don't have to cost a fortune, but may help to save the planet and ourselves. So, a very warm welcome to you to our Christmas gifting edition.
Take my hand and come with me, darling, down to the shoreline. Take my hand and come with me, darling, down to the shoreline. Wool clouds and day palm dreaming all by the deep sea sleep. The gulls come clean and dry, and there's many a mile of green deserted sand. The land will go star
And we turn first to Tom Cadwallander to start the Nature Garden Weekending Show bauble rolling with the first part of his gift suggestions.
It just seems like yesterday that I was talking about the end of the autumn bird migration. And here we are, we have Christmas just around the corner. The reason I know Christmas is just around the corner is Carl has just asked me if I could provide some ideas for Christmas presents for would-be naturalists and people who are interested in natural history generally, birds particularly, which I'm very happy to do because there's always something you can get. It's quite wide-ranging as well. If you're into books, which I'm sure a lot of people are, you may have come across field identification guides for bird IDs. And the best one on the market, I think, is the Collins Field Guide. And it's not particularly expensive, but we ornithologists consider this to be the industry standard in terms of bird identification. And it's well worth having if you've got a friend or family member who are interested in this sort of thing. And so it's the Collins Bird Field Guide, and it's very, very helpful. And that does also come with as an app for your phone. If they're into smartphones, you can actually download it. It costs about £15, perhaps £16. But the app is excellent because it has sounds associated with it as well, and distribution maps and all manner of things, little bits of vids. It's really quite helpful. So Collins Field Guide comes either on an Apple phone or in an Android phone, so you can download it very easily from the app stores or Google Play. And there is a price to it, but it's well worth it for a budding ornithologist or someone who's just passively interested in these things. But so the app is a good one, and indeed the book is absolutely fantastic. And thinking about books, we all have fallen in love with Hamza Yassin, who's the cameraman, the BBC cameraman. He's got television series and that sort of thing. He's become really quite a feature. And his story is absolutely fascinating. And he's got two books out. One has been around for a wee while, and that's How to Be a Birder. And that's published by Gaia, which is an excellent publisher. And so, yes, have a look out for How to Be a Birder by Hamza. But the one I was thinking about in particular, about his kind of family story or his journey from being a child growing up to becoming this kind of wonder cameraman. And it's a book called Homeward Bound. And again, that's published by by Gaia, and that is well worth the read, actually. But Hamza's got a fantastic story to tell about how he kind of just worked his way through his childhood, learning about birds, and then eventually becoming sort of encapsulated by the whole idea of making movies. And it's a great story. But there's another little kind of autobiography that may well catch your imagination. It's written by a good old friend of mine called Richard Baines. He runs a company called Yorkshire Nature Tours, and he lives in Flamborough. And his book is called The Rarity Garden. And The Rarity Garden is a story of his kind of living at Flamborough. He's turned all sorts of birds up in that area because he lives so close. But also he's been quite instrumental in putting together some quite good habitat management, habitat creation schemes as well. So his book is called The Rarity Garden, and that's available from Yorkshire Coast Nature Tours, and it's online, so you can easily find it. So these are ones are really quite a good ones to get a grips with, and they're telling you some real people's stories, and they'll while away some splendid hours. But other things I can think of that may well be helpful is actually in terms of apps. One app I find really very helpful is the Ordnance Survey app. If you do any walking at all, you'll be very familiar with the Ordnance Survey maps, Land Ranger and that sort of thing. Well, this comes in a smartphone version as well, and that's available to download. And I've been using this Ordnance Survey app for a number of years now, and it's really quite helpful if you're using smartphones. That is, some people are not so keen on it because they like to have the tactile kind of relationship with a paper map, which is perfectly understandable. But I like to do that.
Tom Pattinson's also here with some exciting ideas for your gardening and gifts both outside and indoors. Hello, Tom.
Hello. We're getting very close to Christmas, and I've been thinking about Christmas presents for the gardener in your life. I'm sure that you've got a list of your own. You probably got them already bought and wrapped up, ready for action. But just in case you haven't, I thought I might share one or two of my ideas with you. The obvious choice is a potted plant. It can be a cyclamen, some bulbs which have been forced in a bowl, ready to flower, an azalea. I've even seen indoor roses, a pot of roses in full bloom, miniature roses. Yes, for indoors. Lovely. And they're all not too expensive. But if you buy someone a plant, with it comes the responsibility of keeping it alive. They'll feel really bad about it if it's not a good plant to look after. So if that's the case, buy them something. I've got two key ideas here. One of them is the amaryllis or hippeastrum. It's a lily. It comes in bulb form in a pack with a container, some compost, and all you do is moisten the compost, put it in a container, put the bulb on top, pressed gently into the surface, a large bulb, and watch it grow and give you those beautiful big lily-like flowers indoors. The other one is an orchid. Believe it or not, some orchids are fairly straightforward to grow as a houseplant, indoor plant. And there's one type called Phalaenopsis. Now, let me spell that for you. It's Phalaenopsis, a Phalaenopsis orchid. Beautifully in flower, good range of colours. And you put that in some light in, say, the garden room or conservatory, or in your living room, in the window air light, so it gets plenty of light, and minimum of about, say, 10 to 12 Celsius. It will survive. One that we bought 3 years ago, it flowered, believe it or not, for almost 12 months on end. When it finished, we just cut the flowering stems out and it's started again, and it's in full bloom now. Really, almost anybody proof. Anyone can grow it. A couple of ideas there for potted plants. I'm thinking also of possibility of garden tools. What about that? I'm sure that there's something for every occasion. Instantly accessible in the shops, garden centres especially. Last minute buy. If there's a specific interest of the person you're buying the present for, maybe pruning. In which case, better set of secateurs, straightforward. It may be a trowel or a fork, something big, something small, for a vegetable gardener, and something that looks like a little package, beautiful, with a maximum minimum temperature thermometer for indoor use or for outdoor use. Down the basics, if you just want some stocking filling, as we say, to fill a Christmas stocking with small things, buy a stack of labels and indelible pen, something of that nature. Just a little gardening gift. Now, practicality says most people, if they're bending a lot in the garden, old and young, knee pads or something to rest yourself on, take the pressure off your back. They're very popular as well. Gardening gloves, why not? And then moving on to something totally different, books, publications. I have quite a few on the shelf at home, tomes, some of them reference books, and some of them straightforward, basic. They're on gardening, every single aspect of gardening. Give that a try. That's a start.
Now, here's Tom Cadwallander with the second part of his gifting guide.
Now then, what else can we think of in terms of good Christmas presents? Thinking about sort of Yorkshire Coast nature tours, they have gift vouchers. You can buy them for any valuation. And indeed, there's another company based in northeast England. It's called Northern Experience Wildlife Tours. Both of these companies have gift vouchers. And both of them run all manner of tours, whether they're just one-offs going out bird watching, wildlife watching generally, photographic tuition, general ID, but they're all there to help you get more value out of your days out in the field. And both of them run boat trips looking for whales and dolphins and that sort of thing. Yorkshire Coast Nature is, as it sounds, based in North Yorkshire, and they run boat trips out of Staithes, whereas the Northern Experience run out of Tyneside, and they run their boat trips from there. But they do have gift vouchers, and they're quite splendid. And you can spend as much as you like on these vouchers, so it doesn't have to be for any sort of specific sum. You can actually tailor make your voucher to suit whoever you're buying for. So they are really quite helpful, and you're with experts in very safe hands, and you're with experts, and that's really very, very good. And so yes, it's photography or whale watching, gannets or whatever it is. There's lots going on there, so they're really quite good. Other things I'm thinking of are trying to help birds in your garden. And you can buy bird food. In the past, I have bought bird food for friends and bird feeders for friends. And there are a number of companies who will help you do that. And the company I use generally is a company called Vinehouse Farm. And they have a fantastic selection of bird foods and indeed feeders to put them in your garden. And ranging from kind of black sunflowers to sunflower hearts to mixed seeds, mealworms, suet balls, all sorts of things like that, which will help feed birds in your garden. And that's a great way. So yes, just buy a bag of bird food. Fantastic. And a feeder to go with it. Great Christmas presents, I think. And one of the kind of best things that you could do is a subscription. I have a friend who annually gets a subscription to the National Geographic as a Christmas present for him. And he's had this for 35 years. And it broadens your horizon, full of wonderful photography. But it's brilliant. And it just tells you all sorts of things you've never even thought of. But there are other magazines, perhaps a little bit more specific, that you could think about. Birdwatching in particular. Birdwatching magazine is very, very good. And indeed, so is Birdwatch magazine. So both of those are available for as gift subscriptions. And any budding birdwatcher or a hardened birdwatcher will be very happy to receive those. And if you wanted to give your time to a conservation organisation as a gift to them. Now, volunteering for conservation organisations is just a fantastic way of making a good present for Christmas time. So yeah, volunteer your time. You can think of any organisation, and they'll be very helpful, very happy to take your subscription, your volunteering days. But the other thing about conservation organisations is that you can buy gift membership. Now, that is an excellent way of introducing good friends to and family to conservation organisations. I know the organisation that I'm heavily involved with, which is the British Trust for Ornithology. They have gift memberships, and they'll be happy to have new members all the time. The RSPB are the same, and the wildlife trusts. There's a great wildlife trust in northeast England here. One or two. There's Northumberland Wildlife Trust, Durham Wildlife Trust, Teesside Wildlife Trust. They always be very happy to have them. And not forgetting bird clubs. There are some really active bird clubs within our region, ranging from North Northumberland down through into North Yorkshire and beyond. Wherever you live, there are bird clubs, and you will give you a subscription to hand out to a friend. So that is a really good way of introducing people to getting into the meeting like-minded folks, but also making a contribution to conservation generally. It's a great way of doing things. So I would highly recommend those things. So it's great. So do that, please. So yes, there's a few ideas from me about what you can treat your good friends, your acquaintances, your family members to help the world of nature and get great value of it and appreciate what's there. So anyway, folks, happy Christmas and good watching. Bye now.
And yes, in this tinsel-tastic festive edition of the show, we're looking at some ideas for underneath the Christmas tree. And here's Tom Pattinson with part 2 of his gift ideas.
If you find Christmas shopping rather difficult, not that easy, welcome to the club. It's difficult. And when it comes to books, they're really personal things, aren't they? But I do love Christmas Day, looking under the tree, some beautifully wrapped parcels, rectangular type, guessing game starts. I hope it's not a box of chocolates. I'd rather have a book. Open it up and it is a book, but what's the title? What's it about? Well, if the gardener in your life happens to be your wife, then you've got a fair knowledge, I suppose, of which is our favourite gardening topics. I've got ideas about this. I love one that's we're able to delve into and get some information from. I'm thinking about an encyclopedic type. There's one on the bookshelf, had a few years now. I really love it. Do pop into it, thumb some of the pages occasionally and search for a different variety of plant. It's called the RHS A to Z Encyclopedia of Garden Plants. It's RHS being the Royal Horticultural Society. It's a top book. It covers 15,000 plants and there are 6,000 photographs. Not all perfect for identification, but quite interesting. I use it regularly. And if I can't find a certain variety I'm looking for, a cultivated variety, then of course there's the computer. That's up to date. Bear in mind that as far as modern varieties, recent variety introductions, roses, any sort of plant you wish, it might not be in there because the day that a book is published, it's out of date in a manner of speaking in terms of keeping up with the new varieties. That's a good one. It's worth having anyway because it's got good basic gardening knowledge in, lots of examples and lots of information. I love a little one called RHS, Latin for Gardeners. It's from the Royal Horticultural Society again. It's ageless, of course. It has 3,000 plant names. They're explained, what they mean, and I find that I'm dipping into that occasionally just to check up. But another one that really is down to earth, literally and metaphorically, is the Garden Expert series by Dave Hessian. He wrote something on almost every gardening subject, full of information, basics, everything you need to know about the plant, what sort of crop you get from it, how long it takes. Say, a typical one would be a lettuce, the hearting lettuce. If you sow the seeds now, it takes approximately 90 days for the heart to form and you can harvest it. Many facts in those. They're not too expensive, and if it's on a specific subject, you've got, say, bulbs, all sorts of bulbs imaginable, and how to treat them, etc. A book is really first class. I'm looking at also, through my mind, I'm searching here, I'm thinking about subscriptions, an annual subscription for something, say the Royal Horticultural Society itself. That gives you a monthly book called The Garden, colour magazine, I should say, called The Garden. Beautiful, up-to-date ideas, and focuses on different plant species each month. Oh, I really look forward to it coming through the letterbox. Or it could be a gardening magazine, say something like Garden News. It's published weekly, and someone can buy a subscription for the whole year for you. At the end of that year, if you like that magazine, then you keep the subscription going. If not, then you've had a good year of enjoyment. Lots of good stuff in there as well. Oh, I must say, but I have a little bit of interest in this, just minor. I send a monthly report in from Anik, and Judy and I put something together for that, and with a few images, and it's rather pleasant to see that. What else? Well, what about locally? Probably a subscription to the Anik Garden or any other garden round here, so you can get in for one-off, give it as a present to them. Someone subscribe for a year. Another one, I'm starting to scratch the bottom of the barrel here and my head. I think this is an easy way out, mind, but it does solve the problem, a garden voucher. The only problem with that is they know how much you spent on them. So if you're going to buy your garden voucher for someone, then for goodness sake, dig your hand deep into your pocket and spend it. Oh God, I think it's ready for a cup of tea now. I am.
I'm delighted to say that Steve Lowe from the Cresswell Peel Tower has joined the radio and podcast party, and here's his very own ideas for presents this Christmas. Hello, Steve.
Good morning, everybody. Bit of snow out there, bit of rain, the usual Northumberland winter at the minute, although it's still only November. However, at this time, we've been thinking about what you could possibly look for in Christmas gifts for this year. And I've got a few ideas, and a couple of these I thought I'd share with you. Now, as you'll know, I work at Cresswell Peel Tower, and we actually have our own publications, Cresswell Curiosities, and also one called Our the Wall, which is the last of which is actually the history of the walled garden. Now, they're available from the Peel Tower anytime that anybody wants to come along, and they're only £5 and £3 respectively. So that's a good little stocking filler for you. But we've also been involved with the launch of two books. One is called The Power of Three, which is by a local author called Jacqueline Auld. And Jack has written a series of detective novels, a bit like the Anne Cleeves novels, really, on two characters called Massey and Sparks. And the third one, The Power of Three, is actually set at the Cresswell Peel Tower. And the way it's described is that a grisly murder in a Northumberland village is finally solved, or is it? And, now I'm not going to tell you whether it is or not, am I? But just to say that it's a very popular book and well worth a look, as are some of our other books as well. And Jack's been really good supporter for the Peel Tower as well. So that's a really good one to add to your list. And then another book that we've been working with the author on is called Star of the Sea, The Cresswell Chronicles. Now, that was written by Catherine Tiernan. And Kath is actually a member of the Cresswell family. And she's written a book which is a really gripping family saga. And it's set in not just in Northumberland at the Peel Tower and also in nearby Newbiggin, but also in Whitby in London between 1745 and 1790. It's a novel bringing alive the history of the Northeast at that time, which you might think is the age of sail, but there's quite a lot of industrial history in that as well. But Jack has actually researched this using our family history. And there's loads of information in there about the Cresswell family themselves. So again, another recommendation. Now I've read both of these. I really enjoyed them both. A Star of the Sea in particular, because I'm interested and work at the Peel Tower, was particularly good. Now, both of these are available from the usual sources, both online and in store. We don't have them at the Peel Tower at the minute, but we're hoping to get them in shortly. So there's a few ideas, written ideas for you. Obviously, I've mentioned Anne Cleeves as well, a good friend of both myself and Tom Cadwallander. Lots of bird watching references in there, and well worth a visit. And she's still going strong and supporting charities. And we're actually hoping to be working with her on a writing project fairly soon. Now, other ideas, and there's a few things that I've come across. I'm going to make some really odd suggestions, though. Why not join up the Northumberland Archives? Join up there. It's free to join, and for anyone who's interested in researching family history, you can go along any time when the archive is open. And the staff there are superb and really, really friendly, really helpful, and will help you find out a little bit more about your family. And it's amazing what you might actually dig up when you start looking in the archives there. A lot of people don't even know that such facilities exist, so that's a good one. Now, that's actually based at Woodhorn in Ashington. It's easy to get to, but they do have restricted openings, so that's worth looking at. And as I say, that's a freebie, so there you go. I'd also recommend, if you want to make a donation to charity. Now that would be, there's hundreds of charities out there, and I'm not good. It's really hard to pick one in particular because they're all good, worthy causes. But I'm a particular very, very supportive of the World Land Trust. Now, the World Land Trust, if you Google that, you'll find them. They've got a really good website, and what they do is they buy land in foreign countries that make critical paths for wildlife conservation. And they put money into managing those as well. And they've got a really good program of activity and work that's going on. And I'll be honest, if I do any fundraising and submissions, it's nearly always to the World Land Trust. You can, make a donation that will buy, say, half a hectare of Amazonian rainforest, for instance, that sort of thing. So that's well worth looking at. If you're also thinking about, going out and going to places, here's a couple of ideas. I love the Northumberland Zoo. I'm not a great fan of zoos generally, but actually the Northumberland Zoo, I think, do it really well. They are very active in conservation programs. So I've been working with them on the conservation of the native crayfish. And they've actually got breeding facilities and isolation facilities set up there, and with a view to actually, breeding white-clawed crayfish so they can be released back into the wild. They've got other programs as well. They're all conservation programs, and they've got a really nice, friendly little setup there. So that's well worth a family visit. Particularly maybe it's even over the winter. Who knows? Also, if you like being out and about and you like putting your nose into things, which, let's face it, how many of us don't, then I would recommend looking at the English Heritage membership for a year. Now, we've got loads of English Heritage sites in Northumberland, or in fact in the Northeast. And if you actually sign up for a year, you can get free access to all of those, loads of other benefits as well. But actually the main thing for me was the free access. So you could go to Dunstanburgh Castle one day, you could go to Lanercost Priory out in the west on another day. You can go up to Lindisfarne, for instance. Loads and loads of different places. Oh, and the other one, which I go past it nearly every day, was Tynemouth Priory. How often had I been in? Once, I think. So that was well worth a visit. Now, that's a little bit more expensive, but for the price of it, you actually get free access. So if you make sure you get to a few sites in a year, you easily make that back. And you can get family memberships and reduced memberships and all sorts of things. So that's worth a look at. And finally, what I was going to suggest was, rather than always buying new, why not visit charity shops and see if there's anything in there that you can actually get? Because I work in a charity shop as a volunteer, and we get loads of really, really good quality stuff in that in many cases has hardly been used. Not only are you actually supporting a good cause, but you're repurposing and reusing some of the items that people don't want. So that's definitely a good thing to do at this time of year. Have a good Christmas and gan canny.
And so to the sound of War Blackbird and the Carl Cape Band and Auld Lang Syne, here's Tom with some things to be getting on with in the garden.
Okay, if you're still gardening, which I hope you are now for the coming week and throughout winter, don't give up on the garden. There's lots to do. Let's have an idea of what I'm doing. I hope during the coming week, I'm going to check, it's a daily check on anything that's in store. I'm talking about my fruit, the apples mainly. They're stacked in the garage in a tower tray, and I have to go, even though I checked them when I put them down for store over the winter, I have to go and check that there's not one bad apple in there which is going to affect the lot. I generally find one each time I look, so out it goes, and there's still enough goodness on it for the birds. They love it. So that's one of the things. The onions as well, which are in store. One bad onion can spread the disease to the rest of them. That's a big thing to be doing at the moment. I'm checking out in the vegetables, sticking with the vegetables now. I'm checking out each day that the pigeons aren't going at my Brussels sprouts, which are beautiful, and they're just right for winter. They can't get at the parsnips because the white gem, the one that I've got this year, it's buried. It's still in the soil. I leave them in the soil because just like the sprouts, they are better, I think, to taste that when there's a bit of frost been at them. They can't get at those, so I'll dig those up just ready for Christmas meals when I'm ready. Looking at the lawns, I need to make a final cut, and that will come, but not while it's wet. I'll raise the blades, the cutting cylinder on the mower, and I'll get it cut now. Then I put the lawnmower away for a week or two, but generally by about January, February, I'm going to trim again. It's the way it happens these days. You've got to get out and just to smarten things up a bit. I sowed some grass seed in September. I'm keeping an eye on that. It did germinate. It's coming through, leaving it for the moment. I'm looking for some turf. I'm going to lay some turf as well, grass turf. I'm thinking slightly ahead to the pruning in the garden. It can be done anytime, this week, next week, the week after. I'm thinking about the roses. I'm thinking about the apples outdoors. Anytime, if it's frosty, I don't mind. It keeps the ground hard. You're not walking on soft soil and making a mess of the substructure beneath the soil. So a frosty day, wrapped up warmly, and pruners in hand, that's when I'll do the roses. Anytime between now and say about February, March. Out the apples, generally it's January or February. Not at the moment. They've just lost their leaves, and I'm giving them time to get into a deep sleep, and then I'll prune the apples, spare prune them. All the laterals, side growths from main stems, pruning them back to about 3 buds. In the greenhouse, I've got the vines to prune, but the last leaves are still hanging on, and if you prune a vine while it's still got a bit of growth, hasn't gone to sleep yet, hasn't gone into dormancy, it will still bleed. If you cut a large stem from it, so I play safe, and it will probably be again about mid-December the middle of this month when I do the pruning of that. I'm looking ahead even more to the shrubs. I'm not pruning several things out there at the moment because they're going to flower for me early in the year, say January, February, March, April. I'm not pruning those at all. Those that have flowered during the late summer, I can prune those. Quite a bit to do out there. Pick it up as you go along, but please don't neglect the garden. Winter gardening is quite possible and quite enjoyable. If you get out there, wrap yourself up warmly, as I said previously, and make sure there's a hot drink at the end of it. You'll feel better for it, and the garden will feel better for it. Whatever you do, enjoy your gardening.
You've been listening to gardener Tom Pattinson, birder Tom Cadwallander from the British Trust for Ornithology, and Steve Lowe from the Cresswell Peel Tower. Don't forget you can listen back to all of our previous programmes via the Nature Garden podcast. That's the Nature Garden podcast. I'm Carl Steinson, thanks for listening, and enjoy your gardening and time outdoors with nature. And we all wish you a very Merry Christmas. And here to play us out, something festive, a tune from our very own Carl Kate Band, It Must Be Christmas Time. Bye for now.
Light a candle in the window, put a star upon the tree. Get caught up in the magic and all the mystery. Cheer up, Ebenezer, just forget the blues. The Christmas story's here and it's good news. Love's divine and a star will shine and shimmer so far and bright. A red-robed man with a long white beard's getting ready for a busy night. Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Write Christmas cards in the kitchen, share some festive food, hang mistletoe up for kisses and get holly from the wood. Put the Yule log on the fire, fill your cup with cheer. It's time for peace and joy, Christmas is here. And the drummer boy has got his sticks, the fiddler's got her bow. The carol singers have wrapped up warm, the lanterns are starting to glow. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time. Let's bring peace to the world. Let's bring joy to the world. The wonder of life and a bright star shining above. An amazing story all about the power of love. Got her bow. The carol singers have wrapped up warm and the lanterns are starting to glow. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time. And the drummer boy has got his sticks and the fiddler's got her bow. The carol singers have wrapped up warm and the lanterns are starting to glow. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time. The bells are ringing and the ding-dong dinging, it must be Christmas time.